Hello, everybody. I'm Skip Elsheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show, where we watch old 16mm films from our collection and from other collections. And that was actually a 35mm film strip about our favorite family, the Encyclopedia Britannica. Hold on. I'm Skip Elsheimer. The Encyclopedia Britannica film strip family, featuring Steve, Babs, Dick, Mom and Dad. Is that it? Is there another one? I think that's it. I think it's only 5. Steve being our favorite character. So this is a belated Mother's Day episode. I was out of town this weekend, visiting my mom and my stepmom. We had a nice time, nice visit. And so today I wanted to show stuff about moms. This first film is fascinating. This is from the National Archives, and this is outtake footage for a segment that was with March of Time called Babies Wanted. And it's about motherhood, kinda. I'll let you watch and figure it out. Enjoy.
Now, the mother of this fine little baby is willing to let him be adopted for $800. She needs the money so badly.
Isn't he a darling?
Would you like to hold him?
May I?
Now, the mother of this fine little baby is willing to let him be adopted for $850. She needs the money so badly.
Isn't he a darling?
Would you like to hold him?
May I? Oh, isn't he a darling?
Would you like to hold him?
May I? Oh, isn't he a darling?
Would you like to hold him?
May I?
Now, the mother of this fine little baby is willing to let him be adopted for $850. She needs the money so badly.
Isn't he a darling?
Would you like to hold him?
May I? Isn't he a darling?
Would you like to hold him?
May I?
Now, the mother of this fine little baby is willing to let him be adopted for $850. She needs the money so badly.
Isn't he a darling?
Would you like to hold him?
May I?
Now, the mother of this fine little baby is willing to let him be adopted for $850. She needs the money so badly.
Isn't he a darling?
Would you like to hold him?
May I?
Now, the mother of this fine little baby is willing to let him be adopted for $850. She needs the money. Now, the mother of this fine little baby is willing to let him be adopted for $850. She needs the money so badly.
Isn't he a darling?
Would you like to hold him?
May I?
Now, the mother of this fine little baby is willing to let him be adopted for $850. She needs the money so badly.
Isn't he a darling?
Would you like to hold him?
May I?
$850.
Isn't he a darling?
Would you like to hold in?
May I?
So weird. First it was $800, and the director's like, no, it's $850. I mean, if you're gonna ask $850, might as well round up to $900. That's my take on it. But wow. So this is the raw footage that would have been put into a March of Time episode. March of Time, made by Time Magazine. It was an episodic, kind of a newsreel, but not really, and it has a lot of dramatic bits in it, and it would be shown in theaters as a short before a feature film. And wow, they took a lot of takes with that, and I think every single performance was wood, completely wooden. All right, speaking of mothers, I've shown this in the past, but it's great because it features kitties. Mother cat and her baby skunks. Enjoy.
On a farm out in the country, there lived a mother cat. Rex the farm dog lived there too. Mother cat had a cozy home in a big box for her new kittens. This kitten is Blackie, and this little fellow is Puff. Rex often went to the box to watch the kittens play. They were a happy family. Mother cat took good care of them all. This farm was a pleasant place to live. One day, when it was sunny and warm in the box, and the kittens were well groomed and fed, Mother cat jumped out of her box to go to the forest nearby to look for mice. Mother cat liked to go to the forest hunting mice. The forest was quite different from the farm. The opossum lived in the forest, and the porcupine hunted for his food there. A mother fox was looking for her food, but her baby fox was just having fun. The owl had been hunting all night and was now ready for a nap. But the hawk was hungry. He was looking for food. Down below, he saw 3 baby skunks all alone. They had lost their mother the day before. What a good breakfast for a hungry hawk. When a hawk gets hungry, he looks for small animals to eat. Baby skunks, for instance. But a mother cat was too big for him. Could she help the baby skunks? Could she save them from the hawk? Mother cat had never seen baby skunks before, but somehow she sensed that they were hungry and frightened. So she tried to pick one up by the neck, the way cats carry their own babies. Up there, the hawk was waiting for Mother Cat to give up. But Mother Cat tried again and again. Maybe they'd follow her. She'll lead the way to her home where they would be safe. This friendly furry cat was so much like their own mother that the baby skunks followed her all the way home. And so it happened that 3 baby skunks came to live on the farm with a mother cat. They were hungry, too. It was so good to have warm mother's milk again. Puff was not quite sure whether he liked the new family, but Mother Cat liked them all. She had enough milk for everyone. After dinner, Mother Cat gave the whole family a good scrubbing. She licked the little skunks to get them clean. And she licked the kittens, especially Puff. Her own kittens and her adopted babies got the same loving care. They were brothers and sisters now, so the little kittens made friends with the baby skunks. When their stomachs were full and they'd all had the bath, they settled down for a nice, long nap. After the nap, they were ready for play. At first, they were a bit quiet and shy. Mother Cat watched patiently while they began to get acquainted. They soon learned a lot about each other, how they smelled, and how they looked. About this time, Rex's fine nose had detected a new scent, so he came to investigate. There was Mother Cat and her new family. The new members of her family certainly didn't look like kittens, but if Mother Cat liked them, Rex would be friendly and treat them all alike. Time passed quickly. As they grew older, Blackie was the first to climb out of the box. It took Sandy a little longer to get out because his legs were not very strong yet. But he made it. One of the baby skunks quickly learned that he could climb too. Puff tried several times, but he had to practice some more and grow a little before he would be able to get out by himself. One day, sometime later, while Mother Cat had taken her kittens out for a tree climbing lesson, the little skunks remained alone in their box. Soon they got tired of playing alone. One by one, they wandered out of their box. They strolled across the yard, past the watchdog, and out onto the dirt road. In a short while, the three baby skunks found themselves in the forest. The forest is the real home of skunks. It seems such a fine place to play, so much bigger than the barnyard. In the barnyard, they had never seen the brook, and they had not learned an important lesson for all forest creatures: to be always on the alert. There was the sleepy owl. Would he harm them? Not if he had had his dinner. The baby skunks knew nothing about the danger of the forest. Merrily, one of them ventured out into the water. The rocks were slippery and the baby skunk slid off. He got his tail wet and he got his feet wet, but he didn't seem to care. Soon he led the way for a new adventure. He found plants and leaves that he had never seen before. The baby skunk spotted a baby fox, and the fox spotted the skunk. Perhaps he would like to play. But no, he ran away. So the little skunk went back to find his brothers. Meanwhile, Mother Cat and Rex were back at the farm. The baby skunks had gone away, Mother Cat saw the hawk flying overhead. Rex saw it too. Mother Cat hurried off to look for her little ones, who were having such a good time. They didn't look up to see the hungry hawk. Mother Cat hurried. Her young ones were in danger. What a good meal one of the little skunks would make for a hungry hawk. Mother Cat looked and looked. Her little skunks couldn't be too far away. She had to find them, or the hawk would surely swoop down. The owl seemed to be waiting to see who would win this time. Mother Cat turned toward the brook, and out there she found her naughty little baby skunks. They had been naughty. They'd gone a long way from the barnyard when they were still too small to take care of themselves. The hawk was very, very angry. He had lost a good meal again. Once more, Mother Cat led the way home. This time, the little skunks followed her readily. They were glad to be back in the barnyard. Soon the whole family was together again. It was a proud and happy family where two different kinds of young animals found love in the same home. And to Mother Cat, it really didn't matter whether the babies were kittens or skunks. She took good care of them all.
Oh, and it's special. So some people will call this the Pepe Le Pew origin story. I would say it could either be the origin story or the direct result of what Pepe Le Pew was up to with his romantic machinations. All right, here's a film about pregnancy. It's made for expectant mothers, telling them don't have anything. Don't, basically, you're pregnant, don't have any chemicals in your body. This is drugs, smoking, and alcohol during pregnancy.
Beth, I heard you're pregnant. I think that's wonderful.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations, Beth. It's going to be a lot of fun having a little one around the house.
Oh, you know about that, huh?
Oh, yeah. I can help you with that.
Oh, thanks. Listen, let me have a cigarette, will you?
You are such a mooch.
I'm not a mood.
I suppose you want it lit, too?
Of course. I think I'll meander about.
Meander.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Hey, you two. I haven't talked to you yet tonight. How you doing?
Beth, that's no good now that you're pregnant.
Oh, don't listen to him. I smoked all through my pregnancy, and there's nothing wrong with Eric. He's a very healthy baby.
Come on, you can't base that on one case. My studies show that smoking increases the chances of miscarriage.
Maybe I better put it out.
Beth, Tony's right. My doctor told me that smoking increases your chance of having a premature delivery.
Really?
Alcohol's even worse. I was in the doctor's office the other day reading a magazine, and it said that...
Ah, come on. A little bit of booze never hurt anybody.
Of course. And here's to John and Beth. And may you have the most beautiful baby in the world.
What you really should be careful of is drugs, like pot and coke.
Well, I don't know too much about street drugs, but my sister's doctor wouldn't even let her take anything for a cold, even aspirin.
Oh, you're kidding.
Is it true what I heard about caffeine? They're now saying that pregnant women shouldn't drink coffee.
No, you can drink coffee. You just can't drink too much.
Well, how much is too much?
Tobacco, alcohol, drugs. What effect do they really have on an unborn baby? As the fetus develops in the uterus, it receives its nourishment from the mother through the placenta, a special organ formed during pregnancy. The placenta transfers both food and oxygen to the fetus through a tube called the umbilical cord. When you breathe, oxygen contained in your blood supply passes through the placenta to the fetus. When you eat, nutrients enter your blood and are also absorbed by the fetus through the placenta. In effect, the fetus is completely dependent on you for the air and food it needs to grow into a healthy baby. However, in the same manner as food and oxygen, substances such as the nicotine in tobacco, alcohol, and drugs pass between you and your baby. The baby will be exposed to a proportional amount of these substances. Even this small amount may be harmful to a baby whose vital organs are still developing. Medical science knows more about the effects of some substances than others. Much is known about tobacco smoke. There are two byproducts of tobacco smoke which are harmful: nicotine and carbon monoxide. Both interfere with the blood's ability to deliver oxygen to the body's cells. Each blood cell delivers oxygen to the body's cells. Carbon monoxide takes up space on the blood cells, reducing the amount of oxygen that can be carried. Nicotine causes the blood vessels to narrow. This reduces the amount of oxygen-carrying blood which can reach the cells. When you inhale tobacco smoke, the supply of blood to your fetus is reduced. Since oxygen and nutrients are carried by your blood, these too are reduced. This will cause the fetus to grow at a slower than normal rate. This means the fetus will weigh less and be weaker at birth, making it more susceptible to birth-related risks. Statistics have shown that women who smoke run twice the risk of miscarriage compared to non-smokers. Smoking can also cause premature delivery. If you're pregnant and stop smoking, you can restore a normal flow of oxygen and nutrients to your baby, increasing its chances for normal growth and delivery. When you take a drink, the alcohol is absorbed into the bloodstream and quickly moves to your brain. Alcohol not only affects a person's coordination, it also slows down involuntary movements, like heartbeat and breathing, through its effect on the brain and central nervous system. Eventually, the liver and kidneys remove the alcohol from the body, restoring normal function. However, when you're pregnant, alcohol may cause problems. Research has shown that exposure to large amounts of alcohol on a regular basis can cause the fetus to develop physical abnormalities. Called fetal alcohol syndrome, these abnormalities may include a small stature, small head, narrow eye slits, a flattened nose, a thin upper lip, and a receding chin. These physical traits are frequently accompanied by heart defects and mental retardation. How much alcohol is too much for your unborn baby? There's no medical evidence that an occasional drink will cause harm to the fetus. However, since science has not established a safe level, it would be wise to limit your alcohol consumption during pregnancy. And if you can, abstain altogether.
What's up, everybody?
Bev, why don't you sit down and join us? We're having a smoke.
I don't know. Can I smoke pot?
I don't see why not.
Well, I mean, I wonder, will it hurt my baby?
If you're pregnant, there's one group of substances you should definitely avoid: street drugs. Although doctors sometimes prescribe sedatives, such as barbiturates, for specific reasons during pregnancy, it is best to avoid quaaludes, amphetamines, marijuana, cocaine, LSD, and others. These drugs either slow you down or speed you up by acting on the central nervous system. They affect your heart rate, breathing rate, and blood circulation. Like the other substances, these drugs are passed through the placenta to your unborn child. Although there's been little research into the specific harmful effects on the fetus, common sense alone should convince you to avoid mood-altering drugs during pregnancy.
Hey, Beth. Come on, wake up. You're gonna be late for work. Wake up.
I don't feel so well today.
Why, what's the matter?
I have a cold.
Okay, wait a minute. I'll get you something. Hey, Beth. How about a cold capsule?
I better not.
You want me to get you a couple of aspirin?
No, I'm not going to take anything till I talk to the doctor.
Okay.
Do you think you could get me some orange juice?
Okay.
I'm not going to go to work today.
All right, well, I'll call the office and tell them.
When you're pregnant, you should be cautious about using ordinary cold medications, especially those containing aspirin. There's no evidence that aspirin causes birth defects, but its overuse, especially late in pregnancy, can cause a longer than normal pregnancy, prolonged labor, and excessive bleeding during delivery. And it may cause bleeding problems in the infant. As an alternative to cold medications, rely on rest and fluids to relieve your cold symptoms.
Do you want to go shopping today?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Maybe we can pick up some cute little maternity outfits.
I bet they're on sale now. Yeah, we could get some jumpers or something.
Yeah. Then we'll go to the store and get something exciting for lunch.
I'm so hungry. I want something to eat.
Aren't you going to have any coffee?
No, I'm going to have some decaffeinated coffee.
Oh, okay.
Although there has been little research on the effect of caffeine on the fetus, it might be wise to limit your intake of caffeine while you're pregnant. Depending on the amount of caffeine in your blood, the fetal heart rate may increase, and the flow of oxygen and nutrients to the fetus could be reduced. Besides coffee, caffeine is also an ingredient in tea, cola, cocoa, and chocolate. Consider this. If right now your developing baby were 1 or 2 years old, would you let him or her smoke, take a drink, use street drugs, take adult cold medicines, or drink coffee? The answer to that question is obvious. A definite no.
So that in itself, the fact that your mom had to abstain from the things that she loved in life that got her through the day is enough to honor her and to send her your love. All right. I have a lot of films on this topic. And so here it is. One of probably 20, 30 different films I have that deal with this. And this is, of course, Teenage Pregnancy. Enjoy.
Helen? Can I ask you something? Sure. What is it? Well, have you ever, been with Jim?
Well, what kind of a question is that? Shh, wake up the whole house. For crying out loud, what do you expect asking me something like that?
You still haven't answered me.
Well, I don't think it's any of your business. But I can tell you the answer is no.
Have you ever been in bed with a guy?
Betty, what is this? Why?
Just because.
Boy, I think you're out of your mind. Go to sleep, for goodness sakes. Or maybe I better call Mama here to take your temperature.
That'll be the day. Then you'll have to tell her why. Maybe she'll start asking questions.
Come on, are you going to sleep all day?
What time is it?
It's a little after 9.
It's Saturday. I don't want to get up yet.
Oh, come on. You said you'd go downtown with me today. I want to get a new skirt.
Stores are open till 6.
Come on. Here, I've got something for you.
What?
You can have it if you answer my question.
What question?
You know.
Oh, you mean last night?
You never did answer me.
Fortunately, I'm still able to totter out to the kitchen to get my own orange juice.
Here, take this. I was only kidding.
Tastes good.
Hey, what's the matter with you?
Betty, what's wrong?
No matter what it is, it can't be that bad.
Oh, yes, it can, boy. You just don't know.
Well, I'm never going to know unless you tell me. Betty, does what's bothering you have anything to do with what you asked me last night? Have you said anything to Mom? And there's only one thing it can be. Are you pregnant?
You have to promise me you won't say a word to anyone before
Look, if you are pregnant, you won't have to say anything to anybody. They'll all see in a couple months. Now, face it. Is that what's wrong? Do you think you're going to have a baby?
Think it, I know it.
How come you're so sure?
Never mind how, I'm just sure, that's all.
Look, if you want me to help, you're going to have to stop talking in circles. Have you been to a doctor?
You don't have to go to a doctor to know you're pregnant. I have menstruated for 2 months.
Well, there could be other reasons for that, you
Well,
know.
maybe there could, but not as far as I'm concerned. I've been sick nearly every morning for weeks.
So why did you wait till now to say something about it? Oh, never mind. No point in asking why anything.
Helen, what am I going to do?
For starters, you didn't get pregnant by yourself. What does Ronnie think about it? Well, it is Ronnie, isn't it?
Yes, but he doesn't know. I haven't said anything to him yet, and I'm not going to.
What kind of a silly idea... Okay, let's start again. I think the first thing you should do is talk to Mom.
You girls ever going to be ready for bed? Betty, what's the matter?
Oh, Mom.
Tell me, what is it?
Then how long have you known about this?
Betty just told me this morning. I don't suppose she would have said anything even then if I hadn't walked into the girls' room when I did.
So Helen knows about it as well, does she?
Helen knew before I did. I suppose it was easier for Betty to tell Helen. I don't know. I've just been walking around here from one room to another. Don't even seem to be able to think.
I know exactly what you mean. I can't believe we're sitting here talking about Betty having a... You see, I can't even say it.
What are we going to do?
Do? What do you do when you find out your 16-year-old daughter's going to have a baby? 16 years old, for God's sake. What does she know about having a baby?
Nothing. How could she know anything? That's why we have to figure out what to do and help her.
Oh, that's going to make things pretty easy for Betty, isn't it? Listen, this is not like something like a stupid broken window or maybe a failing in a lousy history test. She can't fix this up by taking 10 cents a week off her allowance.
I know she can't.
I just can't believe it. In fact, I can't feel a thing. It's just like I'm sitting here watching all this happening to somebody else.
But it's not somebody else. It's our daughter. And right now she's just plain scared. That's why we have to help her.
Well, nobody's saying anything about not helping her. You know that. But there has to be a way of doing it that she'll understand our point of view. Otherwise, we'll be just taking it over, and how is that going to help her?
She's the one that's going to be having the baby. We can't do that for her, even if we wanted to.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Your mother has told me all about Betty, Helen. So why doesn't everybody stop pretending that this is just another Saturday afternoon around here?
Maybe it would have been better if you just stayed home instead of going downtown.
What happened?
Nothing, really. That's the trouble. I tried to talk to Betty about it, but every time I brought it up, she changed the subject. I don't know how she does it. If it was me, I'd think I'd be talking about it all the time now it's out in the open. I'm going to get out of these clothes.
Will you ask Betty to come down?
Sure. You want me to start supper, Mom?
Good heavens, look at the time. I'll get things started. You can take over when you've changed.
No. Stay where you are and we'll both talk to Betty together. We're not in that much of a rush for supper anyway.
Probably shouldn't even be thinking this. But I somehow wish it was Helen instead of Betty.
Oh, why?
Because she's older, I guess. And Helen's always been, steadier somehow. Even when she was Betty's age.
Yeah, I know. Betty is the impulsive one. But she's a good kid. Good-hearted. For as long as I can remember, she's just always been giving her stuff away. Remember that one Christmas we got her that kitten and she went right across the street to the kid because of the fact that he had a little broken arm or something. I don't know what it was now. How old was she then? 6, 7?
The kitten came right back. I can hear Helen now explaining to Betty how the kitten had lived here for 2 months, and this was his home. He knew this was his family.
We're talking about a kitten. And we both know that we're thinking about a baby, aren't we?
I'm afraid, Bill. There's no other word for it. I'm afraid for Betty.
Right now, she probably figures we don't want to have any part of her. I don't want this whole problem in our laps.
In the meantime, it's already in our laps. And she's still our Betty, even knowing what we know now about her. We still go right on loving her.
Yeah. But how do you get across that you don't stop loving her because we hate something that she's done?
Hi.
Buy a skirt?
Yeah, I got one, but I'm not going to keep it. I only brought it home to shut Helen up. Boy, that's the last time I go with her to buy clothes. We had to go to the maternity department and buy a skirt. Until today, Helen's been more fun to go buying clothes with than anyone. But not anymore. Boy, now the whole scene's changed.
Well, it has, hasn't it?
What?
Changed. The whole scene, as you so aptly put it, has changed. Well, don't you want to talk about it?
I suppose.
You suppose?
Well, what am I supposed to say?
Supposed to say?
You want me to say I'm sorry? Okay, I'm sorry. You don't think I want to have the baby, do you?
What about the baby, Betty?
What about it?
Betty, you're not taking this thing very seriously, are you? Do you realize the position that you're in? The position that you're putting us all in?
Do you think I like it any better than you do? How would you like to be me? You've only known about it for 1 day. But I've been going crazy for 2 months. What's the use in talking about it? It's done. I'd do anything to change it, but I can't, and neither can you or Mum or anybody else. So why can't we just stop talking about it?
All right. We'll stop talking about it. That's the way you want it. We'll stop talking. I'll stop worrying about it, too, okay? It's your problem. You worry about it. Oh, you don't have to start right now. Oh, no. You got the days, the weeks, the months ahead between now and the time when the baby's born. And then there's going to be afterwards. Oh, yeah. The years and years and years afterwards.
Wish I hadn't opened my mouth in the first place. I knew you'd never understand. Do you think I'm the first girl that's ever had an illegitimate baby? It happens every day.
Not in my house, it doesn't!
Well, then I'll get out of your house.
Bill! Betty didn't mean it. She's just upset.
Oh, is she now? Well, what am I? Are you? What are we supposed to do? Just pat her on the head and say, poor Betty?
Bill, will you please listen a minute? I think we'd all feel much better if we only knew more about what we're supposed to do. And it seems to me the best way to find out is to phone Dr. Mackenzie.
Jack Mackenzie? Why bring him into this?
Because he's the only one I can think of who'll be able to tell us what to do.
Sorry to keep you waiting so long, Dorothy. I've thoroughly examined Betty, and she's in excellent physical condition.
Except that she's pregnant.
Yes, about 3 months. I'm sorry, Dorothy. I really wish I could tell you otherwise.
What's the next step?
There are several alternatives, but regardless of which one is chosen, you and Bill are involved. Betty's only 16, and that makes her your responsibility under law.
What if I don't want to be?
Betty, what you want or don't want isn't really important in the eyes of the law.
But I'm the one who's pregnant. I'm the one who's going to have the baby.
That's right. The law is there to protect you and your baby. Sit down, Betty. Now listen carefully. I'm going to try to explain some of the alternatives that are available to you. You'll want to hear this too, Dorothy. And later you and Bill can discuss these things with Betty, and all three of you decide what's best for everybody. You're healthy, fortunately, and should have an uncomplicated pregnancy. The baby should be born in about 6 months. The question is, where? At home, with your parents and Helen? In a home for unwed mothers? Away from here in another city with friends or relatives who are willing to help?
Wouldn't it be best if Betty stayed at home with us?
I can't answer that, Dorothy. Betty, you have to grow up in an awful hurry, starting right now. You can see that your family has to be considered in any decisions that are made, and you have to do everything you can to make things easier for everybody. When it's time for the baby to be born, you'll probably go to hospital. Well, this will mean more arrangements and depend on where you are and who your doctor is. But I think you'll see that your family is very much involved. Now we come to the big question. What happens to the baby? Do you keep the baby? Or do you make arrangements for adoption? Betty, this is a terrible decision to have to make. Right now, there is no baby. It's just something we're discussing. And 6 months seems like a long time, but 6 months goes by very quickly. I'm going to make arrangements for you to see a social worker from one of the agencies which deals with adoptions. You can talk it over with her and discuss the whole thing with your family and then make your decision.
Will I have to see the baby after it's born?
I can't answer that either, Betty. That'll depend on where you are, who your doctor is, and of course on whether you want to see the baby or not at the time.
Well, will I know who adopted it?
It'll depend on the kind of arrangements that are made. If your baby's adopted through the social agency, it isn't likely you'll ever know who the adopted parents are.
That's the best way, isn't it?
Sometimes it is, Betty, and it might turn out to be the best for you.
Well, if I don't ever see the baby, and I never know who adopted it, well, then I won't get all hung up on it, will I?
Sounds all very logical, doesn't it? I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. We're discussing a baby that's a long way from being born. Only a woman who's been through the 9 months of carrying her unborn baby knows how it feels and what she thinks about during that time. During the next 6 months, you'll be experiencing thoughts and feelings you've never known before, and perhaps will never know again. Even with all of us doing everything we can to help you, there'll be some lonely and desperate moments. Betty, inside your body, a baby is growing. And yours is the body that will be physically changing in the months ahead. You don't want this baby, and you'll find yourself resenting the way the body is changing. You may never see the baby, ever, but that won't wipe out the experience of the next few months. So it's foolish to think when it's all over you'll be just the same as you are now, just as though nothing had happened. Start right now to face up to it, Betty. A new life is growing inside your body. And in just about 6 months, you'll be bringing a new human being into this world.
Dr. Mackenzie, will you do me a favor? Will you please talk to my dad?
These are our good friends at Moreland Latchford with all those drama things. And we've shown some of these. We showed Love. We showed Keep Off the Grass. They're all these just, very little factual information. Mostly just this is what the experience is like and this is how, what might happen emotionally. Pretty great. Let's see. What do we got next? All right. One last film. Oh, and thank you, Nathan, for donating via the ko-fi.com AV Geeks. That pays for coffee and really ultimately pays for rental space for all the films that we have. We have a lot, and it costs a lot. It's annoying. Hopefully, soon we'll be able to start getting stuff back into our archive in our newly redone basement that has climate control and water control and has got lights, all the stuff that it didn't have before. All right, this one is about a mother, I guess. I mean, she's a witch. That's what it is. She's an AV witch. Summoning all those stories, making a 16 millimeter projector appear out of nowhere. Plus, I should say that projector does not have sound. That's not a sound projector. Beautiful, though. Looks like an Ampro. Anyways, thanks for tuning in today. Appreciate you watching. I appreciate your donations. If you like what you saw, please hit the thumbs up or the like button. Also, if you want to donate some cash, some moolah, you can do it via the super thanks button here in the YouTube comments, or via going to ko-fi.com/avgeeks or patreon.com/avgeeks. AV Witch, new merch idea. Oh, I like that. Anyways, we're trying to think about ways to do an AV Geeks shelf-a-thon, maybe in June. Like, what would that entail? Would a bunch of people show up and help us move some films, shelve them? I don't know. Is that of any interest to you? Do you have the resources, the time? Let me know. You can write us at skip@avgeeks.com. I'm trying to come up with a way so that it's not all about raising money, but it's about getting folks to help, kind of like building a barn. You know, build a barn in 2 days. Build a archive in 2 days. I don't think that's going to happen. But would love to figure out ways to get people to physically come and help, because then I get to meet you in person and we can hang out, do some screenings, do stuff. Anyways, thanks again. We will see you tomorrow. Everybody have a great rest of your day. Take care.